Best Electric Cars 2025, the EVs to buy and those to avoid. If you don't think that electric cars are yet in the mainstream of the new car market, then consider this. In 2024, almost 1 in 5 new car buyers chose one. And while the majority of those purchases came from businesses and company car fleets, that still means that thousands of customers chose a new electric car. Here, we reveal our top 10 electric cars and tell you which model is better avoided. You can find out more about each model. 1. Renault 5. With Instagram-worthy looks and a choice of bright color schemes, you'd be forgiven for thinking that the new Renault 5 was a car built on style rather than substance. You'd be wrong, though, because even amid the crowded field of electric cars presented here, it's an outstanding champion. Indeed, we like it so much that we've made the Renault 5 our car of the year for 2025. Let's start with how far the 5 can take you between charges, with even entry-level models officially capable of taking you up to 193 miles on a charge. Go for our recommended 52 kilowatt-hour battery, though, and that figure jumps to 253 miles, plenty for most buyers, especially if you can charge at home. And speaking of charging, you'll be waiting a similar amount of time for a 10 to 80% top-up, as you would for the rival Citroën EC3, Mini Cooper SE, and Peugeot E208. Inside, you'll find a comfortable and practical interior with a superb Google-based infotainment system that's easy to get along with. Plus, its physical climate controls are easier to use on the move than the purely screen or voice-based controls of some rivals. Then there's the price, because even the most expensive Renault 5 will cost you less than £30,000. 2. Tesla Model 3. Since its launch in 2019, the Tesla Model 3 has consistently been one of our favorite electric cars. Now, thanks to its latest round of updates, it's the model to beat if you're looking for an electric car which matches up to the best executive models. The Model 3 is great to drive, offering sweeter handling than the rival Kia EV6 or Polestar 2. It's fast, too, ridiculously so in performance guise, and surprisingly practical. The near-complete lack of physical buttons and switches, even the indicator stalk has been replaced with haptic buttons on the steering wheel, won't suit everyone. But the enormous 15.4-inch central screen is at least pretty user-friendly. Factor in that the Model 3 is also competitively priced, and that buying one gets you access to the brand's ultra-fast and convenient supercharger network, and it's easy to recommend. 3. Kia EV. 3Kia's smallest and most affordable electric SUV has had some very impressive siblings to learn from. After all, the larger Kia EV6 is a former What car? Car of the Year, while the even larger Kia EV9 is among our favorite electric 7-seaters. It certainly starts off on the right note, with even the most affordable models able to officially cover 270 miles on a charge, while the long-range model ups that figure to 375 miles. More than the rival Hyundai Kona Electric, Mini Aceman, or Smart Number 3 can manage. The Kia beats the Aceman and matches the Kona Electric on boot space, too, and we managed to fit 6 carry-on suitcases inside, the same as the Skoda Elroq. Speaking of the Elroq, the EV3's physical climate controls make it easier to adjust the temperature in that car, while elsewhere the Kia's interior impresses with an infotainment system that's easy to get along with, and the kind of high-up driving position which SUV buyers will love. When you're driving around town, the EV3's soft suspension does a good job of soaking up lumps and bumps. But the downside is that it doesn't make the car feel especially agile, and it leans more through corners than some rivals. 10. BMW iX. BMW's largest and most luxurious SUV has always been easy to recommend, thanks to its combination of a long range and supreme comfort. And now, thanks to a wide range of updates, it promises to be even better. The headline figure is 426 miles. That's how far the updated iX can take you between charges, and means that even commuters who travel hundreds of miles in a day should find that they don't have to charge up with every journey. Then there's the power, which has been upped across the range. It means that even the entry-level 45 model produces 402 brake horsepower, while the range-topping M70 produces 659 brake horsepower. Most versions of the iX are quick to charge too, with speeds of up to 195 kilowatts possible. 5. Volkswagen ID Buzz. There's so much affection for the retro design of the Volkswagen ID Buzz that its maker could easily have penny-pinched on the engineering and still sold as many as it could make. Instead, the German brand has clearly thrown everything at the car, and this has resulted in something that combines the practicality of an MPV with the comfort and refinement of a premium SUV and the low running costs of an electric car. The ID Buzz is good to drive. It can sprint up to motorway speeds faster than many conventional family SUVs, such as the 1.5-liter petrol-engined Volkswagen Tiguan, and is endlessly spacious, meaning more space for passengers and luggage than you'd find in a Jaguar I-Pace or Tesla Model Y. And in LWB form, it's one of the most spacious cars you can buy in any class. 6. Renault Scenic in times gone by. The Renault Scenic was a fairly frumpy family MPV, which, although spacious, didn't have much else going for it. That's certainly not the case with the latest version, though, which has morphed into a cutting-edge electric car. To drive, the latest Scenic combines a long range, up to 379 miles, according to official figures, with the kind of pep which should make overtaking or getting the jump on urban traffic a breeze. Indeed, the 168 bhp version can hit 62 miles per hour in around the same time as a Hyundai Ioniq 5 or Skoda Enyaq. The rival Kia Niro EV or Tesla Model Y are even nippier still, though. The Model Y also places you farther from the road, but drivers seeking the kind of high-up SUV-style driving position, which gives you a good view over the road ahead, will be pleased with the Scenic. There's good head and leg room no matter which seat you're in, and you can fit more into the Renault's boot than you could into the Ioniq 5 or Kia EV6. Despite its lengthy list of attributes, the Scenic remains competitively priced, costing about the same as a Skoda Enyaq. Plus, resale values are expected to be stronger than those of most rivals. 7. BMW i7. If you're lucky enough to have someone do your driving for you, then the BMW i7 is one of the best luxury limousines on sale, offering technology, comfort, and convenience in equal measure. Even if you're doing the driving yourself, though, it still outshines its rivals. Entry-level models make do with just 449 brake horsepower from a single motor, and that's enough to haul this luxury limo to motorway speeds in just 5.5 seconds. The other four-wheel drive i7s are nothing short of ballistically fast. Indeed, the eDrive 60xDrive will outsprint the rival Mercedes EQS to 62 miles per hour. Not that there's much drama to be felt when reaching those speeds, though, because the i7 is as serene and as hushed as a Swiss watch. And with a cushioning ride, every trip is relaxing. From any seat, you'll be immersed in an interior that's both luxurious and filled with technology, while your luggage should have no trouble fitting inside the 500-liter boot. The EQS is even more capacious, though, and benefits from a more practical hatchback-style opening. 8. Porsche Taycan. The Porsche Taycan has long since ranked among our favorite electric cars, and this latest version has benefited from a round of updates designed to make it even better to drive, even among a field of outstanding rivals. And as you can see by its spot on this list, it's worked. Frankly, the Taycan is in a different league altogether from almost every other electric car. Its steering, for example, is sweeter than that of the Mercedes EQS, And while entry-level models deliver plenty enough power for most drivers, the 4S model, which we recommend, can take you to 62 miles per hour, even faster than an Audi e-tron GT Quattro. Despite having more power than before, the Taycan can still take you a long way between charges. The 4S is officially rated for 346 miles, or 399 miles if you go for the optional larger battery. And you likely won't want to stop, because that could mean leaving the Taycan's sumptuous interior, which is beautifully finished and offers an excellent driving position. 9. Hyundai Inster. Just because you've decided to go electric doesn't mean that you need to spend a lot on your new car. Indeed, the Hyundai Inster will cost you less than rivals, including the BYD Dolphin, Fiat 500e, and MG4. It's not like you'll be scrimping on kit if you go for an entry-level version either, because features including 15-inch alloy wheels, climate control, keyless entry and start, and even an EV heat pump all come as standard. Drivers have two batteries to choose from, with the smaller 36 kilowatt hours capable of taking you up to 203 miles officially. The larger 46 kilowatt-hour battery ups the official range to 229 miles, which is further than rivals such as the Dacia Spring and Dolphin can manage. There is evidence inside that the Inster has been built to a budget, with plenty of scratchy plastics on display, but the seats are comfortable and the Inster's driving position is sound. A word of warning, though, because there's only 2 seats in the rear, meaning a family of 5 will end up leaving someone behind. 4. Skoda Elroq. Welcome to Britain's best family electric SUV, and to give the Skoda Elroq that honor makes complete sense. After all, it's about the same size and offers many of the same features as the Skoda Karoq, which is one of our favorite family SUVs, but benefits from electric power. Speaking of power, even entry-level 168 bhp versions of the Karoq feel plenty quick enough, and the standard suspension setup does a good job of ironing out lumps and bumps in the road. The Elroq handles well for a family SUV too, with well-weighted steering that's also accurate. It's just a shame that the brakes don't offer a better sense of feeling, but that's a problem which also affects the rival Cupra Tavascan. Inside, you don't sit as high up as you do in the Tesla Model Y, but there's a decent amount of space for adults. Plus, we managed to fit 6 carry-on suitcases into the Elroq's boot, which means your holiday luggage shouldn't be much trouble. It's worth noting that the rival Renault Scenic managed to carry one more case in our tests, though.